I thought I knew what to expect out of Brazil. Warm weather, good food, maybe a bit of chaos, but nothing I couldn't handle. In my head, Brazil would feel like Spain, or at least something familiar. But I literally couldn't have been more wrong. From the second I arrived in São Paulo, I felt like I'd been dropped into a completely different world. Louder, wilder, and more intense than anything I'd ever experienced. And the truth is, I was completely out of my depth. But this trip wasn't about being comfortable. It was about saying yes to the unknown, letting go of control, and trusting that the best stories come from moments that you can't explain. This is what happened when I stopped trying to understand Brazil and just experienced it. Landing in São Paulo, I still had the idea in my head that it would feel a little like Spain or maybe Portugal. Familiar but manageable. Instead, I stepped into a city of 22 million people. Louder, faster, and more chaotic than I could wrap my head around. We met up with some friends in the centre, got a trim, and they introduced me to something I'd never tried before.
Right, chaps, so this is a caipirinha. There's a lime, I think it's lemon, some sort of alcohol. What? Cachaça, and just sugar. So apparently this is like the traditional thing. You get pretty drunk on this, I've been told. So I'll give it a go, see how many I can do.
I can see it.
That is very good, but I'm going to be drunk very quick. After this, I'm done.
By the time the rest of the group arrived, I was starting to sober up, and we were ready to do something else. Something real.
Andre has taken us to a Muay Thai / boxing club. We've just bought some shorts and we're going to do some fighting in Brazil because why the hell not?
It didn't take long for us to realise that some of us weren't built for this.
From the sounds of things, 2 of us are ready for this and the other 3 of us have no idea what the fuck's going on. So,
which is the best way to do things.
Exactly.
So we geared up, jumped in, and tried to look like we knew what we were doing. We ended up having a few sparring matches between us, and yeah, that was fun. And then Andre wanted to step things up and do some proper fighting.
I am ready to fucking die.
What are we doing next?
I don't fucking know. Dying.
And got a taste of his own medicine. It was intense, it was ridiculous, but it was probably the first best day Brazil could have given us. It didn't exactly ease us into the trip, but I guess that was the whole point. Clearly exhausted from our athletic triumphs, the next day we turned to the ultimate test of strength, casual chess. Quick side note, if you're enjoying this video so far, feel free to hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out, so thank you so much in advance. Anyways, by the evening we were itching to do something. We were actually planning to play tennis, but all of the courts were booked. So we started to look for something else to do, and that's when we found out you can actually shoot guns in Brazil, which, to be honest, I had no idea was even a thing. So after handing over our passports and getting the all clear, we were in. They took us through an induction and then a safety briefing, which I have to say I feel bad for the guy because he had to explain it twice. Once in Portuguese and then once in English for me. But then it was time to pick out some targets and test out some guns.
You guys excited?
Well, not exactly excited. I'm a bit tense. I'm nervous. Yeah, it's fine.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
I haven't been shooting since shooting a shotgun in the UK. This is a very different feeling. So I'm looking forward to this.
Not bad.
We started off small, with pistols and revolvers.
That was pretty darn amazing.
I thought I knew what to expect, but that revolver had some serious kick that I was not ready for.
Right, so if my aiming was correct, of which I think it is, this man will not be very happy right now.
Ask me how I did it, I'm telling them grace. Ask me how I'm living, I'm telling them grace. New me, no time to waste. Look at me.
Then came something straight out of Red Dead Redemption. A proper, level-action cowboy rifle.
This is very good.
Once I got a hang of the reload, I was loving it, and actually pretty accurate.
Well, that was nice. I enjoyed that actually. I enjoyed that one.
But things got serious when we moved on to the big boy, the M4. To be honest, I didn't think we were actually going to be able to shoot this, but I'm glad we did.
That was fun.
Yes, same pig. It's only fair if we're shooting them together. Only fair I get a pig as well.
I've never held anything like this. It just feels different. Not just physically, but mentally as well. There's something about Brazil that I will never forget. Next, we were being tested on our accuracy. So the instructor took me down range to see what we were aiming at.
Oh wow.
We have one here.
Oh my god. Wow, that's literally tiny.
Another one here.
Okay. Okay, wow.
And the other one here.
Perfect.
Right. We've got the Black Ops 4 pink camo on, boys.
Nah, boots brown on Miley. When I pop out like likeness. Polished.
And so we were ready for action.
What am I shooting at?
What do you think, bro?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Very hard.
Did you enjoy the sniper?
Yeah, I love aiming. Really far.
Finally, with just one cartridge left in the shop, I got the chance to try the pump action shotgun. £8 that one shot cost, but it did not disappoint.
Whoa! Yo, that is what I'm talking about. Yo, that was... I'm a big fan. I like this. Oh my god. Look at this hole. That was it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro, that was it.
We finished the night with a beer, still buzzing from the whole experience. This isn't what I thought I'd be doing in Brazil, but I have to admit this became one of the highlights of my trip. I know it's not for everyone, but if you are in Brazil and you're interested, I highly recommend giving it a go.
That's one of the most fun things I've ever done. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro.
The gun range was one of the wildest things I've done in ages. But Brazil wasn't just chaos, it had another side to show us. The next day, the boys and I head out to explore the city. Just checking out some local spots and seeing where the day would take us. What surprises me about São Paulo isn't just how massive it is, but how it feels. One minute you'll be in the middle of a loud, heavy concrete street, and the next you're surrounded by what looks like jungle. Pockets of nature just woven into the city. It's like it's constantly switching moods, and it's amazing. At one point we stopped off to grab a fresh coconut from a street stand.
Thank you, bro.
Simple but needed. Brazil's version of hydration.
Good coconut. Damn good.
A spot well worth checking out is a place called Batman Alley, an area known for its graffiti art. And not just tags of slogans, actual art. Every wall is covered with something expressive. It's one of those places that feels like the city is speaking back to you, saying, yeah, we're chaotic, but we're proud of it. Some of the artwork was really, really outstanding. For lunch, we found a local spot, serving all kinds of different grilled meats, everything from steak to chicken hearts. I gave it a go and it was alright, but I probably wouldn't be craving it anytime soon. And just as we were finishing up, this gentleman outside started playing music. Nothing big or showy, just a few chords and melodies. And it really brought the place to life. This kind of thing just seems to happen in Brazil, like the soundtrack always found its way in.
Thank you so much, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, bro. That was amazing.
That night, we decided to see what São Paulo was like after dark, which honestly, I felt was a bit of a different world. Now, I don't want to exaggerate and say I felt super unsafe, but my friends did keep on reminding me to stay vigilant. In a city like this, especially as a foreigner, you do just stand out. And when you do stand out, you can become a target. I probably wouldn't have gone out alone, but staying with the boys, most of them being local, I felt a bit more grounded. Our first stop was an American-style bar. Pool tables, beer, a laid-back vibe, a strange kind of comfort zone in the middle of all this chaos. But then we switched it up and went somewhere a lot more local. A live music spot. Packed with people and full of energy. It was a Tuesday night, but it felt like Saturday. And that's one thing I found amazing about Brazil. It doesn't seem to matter what day of the week it is, they always seem to be partying and having a good time. After spending so much time in the city of São Paulo, we got the chance to get out of the city and see a completely different side to Brazil. One of our friends had a connection to a farm near a small village called Miracatu. I really didn't know much about the area, but as we set off on the long and rainy drive, it quickly became clear how massive and vast this country truly is. Before heading into the rainforest, we made a quick stop at a gas station for some lunch and coffee.
Just stopped off at this service station in like the middle of nowhere. This is like an art gallery. There's like some gardens out there and everything. It's really surprising, just out in the middle of nowhere.
The places to the restaurants around the roads here, it's the same brand, and they are all like this. So around the roads, there's always a place like this to eat.
Yes, man. Cafezinho. Real Brazilian coffee.
Just what the doctor ordered.
This is the most fancy service station I've ever been to. It has koi carp in the pond outside.
Shot of sparkling water. Cleanse the palate. And then... Nice coffee. Look at this weather. This is proper Brazilian rain. It's really cool because it's like the authentic rain, but I'm actually quite nervous about my camera.
It's like we're going to a rainforest.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna to sort out the rain problem with the camera, because although it's like water resistant, I want to be safe. We're gonna put like a plastic bag around it or something to, I don't know, make it work.
A plastic bag wasn't exactly high tech, but it did do the job, at least enough to stop the camera from getting soaked. As we drove deeper into the rainforest, the roads began to turn into mud, and the drive turned into a very slow crawl. We had to remove fallen branches and navigate around cows on the road and just keep going. The deeper we went, the more it felt like we were heading into the unknown. After hours on the road, we finally arrived, and it felt like we stepped into a completely different world. Incredibly isolated and surrounded by nothing but nature. After taking in the surroundings, we followed the farmers deep into the jungle to see what they had grown. First up, jackfruit.
Oh wow, look at the size of these.
I had seen it before, but not like this, straight from the tree. Then came something even cooler, cacao. Where your chocolate comes from.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. No, it's not bad. It's not what I expected. Because you expect chocolate to be chocolatey. It just tastes like a nut, to be honest. Like a bit of a slimy nut.
Then they offered us some bananas straight from the tree, definitely the freshest I've ever had.
Yeah. Bit of banana straight off the trees in Brazil. Looking pretty good. That is indeed banana.
Walking through the farm and seeing how everything was grown and tasting everything from the source is something I'd never experienced before. It was a reminder of how different life is out here. Simple, raw, and completely connected to nature. But as incredible as the farm was, the heat, humidity, and mosquitoes were no joke. After spending the day exploring, we were ready to head back. Brazil had already thrown so many new experiences our way, and the adventures were far from over. After reconnecting with nature in the rainforest, I thought things would start to slow down. But this is Brazil, and Brazil does not do predictable. We heard about a local music event, not really knowing what it was, we just showed up. Thousands of people, music shaking the floor, and not a word of English. At first, I felt totally out of place. But within minutes, locals were pulling me into their rhythm, showing me their moves. It was all energy and I was in. And then Andre dropped the biggest bombshell on me.
What's just happened is we've been allowed to go on the main stage to film the musicians and the dancers and everything else, but only one of us. So good luck, Luke.
And just like that, I was being introduced on the stage. No script, no idea what I was doing, just me, my camera, and thousands of strangers all watching it happen. I'll be honest, obviously they didn't know who I was, but they played like they did. What was amazing for me was that everyone on stage gave it everything and really played up to the camera. I honestly went from being completely out of place to capturing some of my favourite footage ever. And my absolute favourite moment was capturing these two singing back and forth to each other, like a musical ping pong match. I have no idea how I got so lucky, but somehow I pressed record at exactly the right time. It wasn't just sound, it was soul, like thousands of people's energy all pouring out at once. I've got to say, I absolutely loved it when the guy started singing into the camera. It's so rare to capture something like this, just people in the moment giving it everything. And somehow I got to film it. What an experience. The energy of that night stayed with me, but there was still some unfinished business. We had talked about it the whole trip, but finally we got a chance. It was time for some Brazilian jiu-jitsu. We had finally made it to one of the proper jiu-jitsu gyms. It was more of an Andre thing, to be honest, but, you know, I thought I'd give it a go.
100% film.
Right. What, because you saw this dude and you're like, no thank you.
I'd like to do some.
Bro, he's fine. Look at him. He's not that big. He's only got a purple belt. He'll be fine.
You can talk with him.
So I've agreed to do some jiu-jitsu as long as I'm only battling him, or whatever the term is, grappling him, because like
You're gonna have like this is what jiu-jitsu is like.
Eventually, we got changed and jumped into the warm-up. Well, Andre jumped in. I just kind of rolled around awkwardly across the mat, trying to get my legs to do what the coach was saying.
Then escape your hip. No,
am I pushing this way?
No.
Other way.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes, but you're trying to do like this, not like this. Do like this.
Okay, so like a full.
Yeah.
So you turn.
Sideways. So.
Yes.
So you pivot on that shoulder.
Okay.
The only point that contacts the ground is that
But
shoulder.
try to keep your foot closer to your body.
Closer.
When you escape the hip. Yes, but try to be more sideways.
Turn more. Okay.
So that's it.
More. Yes, like that. But not slide.
So tired, bro. I have just done one leg.
We're trying to do the warm-up. He's already struggling.
Vou dar uma passada, ó, passando a cabeça dele lá, ó.
They then took us through the first set of moves to learn. Let's see how I got on. After learning the one move that would save me in battle, I decided to stick to what I know best and went back to filming. So I stayed behind the camera as Andre went full in. And, you know, as you can see, it looked like a whole load of fun. he seemed to be really enjoying himself, so that was cool.
He's very, very strong.
Yes.
Very strong.
Place for him to be, but he knows it. So I think he's given it to me as a sacrifice to pass my guard. We shall see. The answer is yes.
Desejar boas-vindas ao pessoal, aos colegas dos Estados Unidos. Então sempre, o Brasil está sempre de braços abertos para receber qualquer comunidade do mundo. Os.
And then after all of that, we ended with everyone shaking hands as a sign of respect. It was quite an experience, I have to say, definitely worth giving a go.
So first experience doing jiu-jitsu in Brazil. I had a lot of fun. I was a proper noob, probably the most noob person there. The experience for me was it's like when your dog's eating something on the street and you have to fight him to like get it out of his mouth, and he will just keep on holding down. You have to like properly grapple with him.
Except in this case, the dog is a 6 foot tall Brazilian bloke with 20 years of training.
Yeah, so a bit different, but same sort of feeling overall.
So we finally found some jiu-jitsu. It's not the fact that you can't find jiu-jitsu in Brazil, it's us. You can literally go around the corner and there'll be some sort of jiu-jitsu class. You just need to be aware of timetables, and being punctual isn't a strength of ours. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. I had a great time.
I came to Brazil thinking I knew what to expect. Somewhere warm, familiar, maybe a little like Spain. But the second I arrived, I realised I was completely out of my depths. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know the rules, and nothing could have prepared me for how alive this place really is. But that discomfort was the whole point. Saying yes, even when I didn't understand, led me to moments I'll never forget. So is Brazil worth visiting? Definitely. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend doing it alone. Without friends, I think I would have struggled, to be honest. I was lucky, and I don't take that for granted. This wasn't a holiday, it was a wake-up call. A reminder that real life begins outside of your comfort zone. So if you do visit Brazil, I hope you have the most amazing time. And thank you for being part of this journey. The next video is going to be a little different, but if you're still here, I think you're going to love it. Take care for now, and see you soon.